Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon once again as per your respective time zones. On behalf of Mastek Managed Services team, would like to welcome you all to this 24B Workforce Management and Global Payroll Advisory webinar session. This important session is to keep you fully synchronized with the new features and functionalities as a part of this quarter release which Oracle provides. My name is Hardik Patel. I'm an operations manager here at Mastek Managed Services team. Today, I'm your host for this session, and I'm glad to introduce my colleague, Nitil Patel, who is part of our vast HCM UK team at Mastek. Today, he will take us through all the workforce management and global payroll updates for 24B quarter release. Today's session is planned for around 45 to 60 minutes, and we'll make sure that we also leave some time to answer any questions you may have. We also have a senior member from the HCM team, Vidya Raju, who is also available with us, so you can ask questions through chat or question panel. She'll be happy to answer. Before we move to the agenda, let's have a quickly look at the important disclaimer. We would like to convey you our approach towards Oracle updates in a very simpler method. We'll be taking you through vital analysis for the 24B updates done by our experts, which will help you incorporating new features and updates easily into your system. We will also try and sync you on any bugs or known issues if there are any. It's good to have an interactive session, so as mentioned earlier, please do use chat or question panel to ask any questions you may have. In case if we run out of time, we'll connect you even at a later stage to answer any questions you might have asked. This is to give you a glimpse on how we have crafted the structure of this session. So the first thing what you see is list of new features coming to 24B, detailing on features, so you get brief understanding on what new features are all about. And next one is what are the business benefits and important takeaway for you as a decision maker. There are 4 components where we have done in-depth analysis of the features which we're going to present to you today. The first one is impact level analysis, which demonstrates the impact on end user. If it's a low impact, then regression testing can be avoided. If it's a high impact, then we need to opt for regression testing. The second one, which is we all are aware that there are some features which are by default auto-enabled by Oracle, and there's some which we need to opt for. Third one highlights the nature of the feature. There would be certain configurations which may be required and some can be used without any changes at all. Last one, which is quick win. This term we use to simply convey that what is ready to use by investing minimum amount of time and what requires significant amount of time and efforts to make use of this feature. With this, I'll be immediately handing over to my colleague Nitil to start this session. Nitil, unmute yourself and stage is all yours. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Yep. Hi everyone, my name is Nital Patel and I will be helping you guide through all the new quick win features introduced by Oracle. To start with, I would like to go with the global payroll features, which does not require any configuration change at the very moment. So the very first feature I would like to talk about is the Redwood experience for personal payment method for professional user. Before I go into any details of this particular feature, I would like to highlight one specific thing that Redwood UI has to be enabled for your system to use the benefit of this particular feature. When we say configuration not required, it means that we are assuming that your system is has the Redwood UI enabled inside. So please do make sure that before using this feature, you have the Redwood UI enabled. Now going into the detail of the feature, this feature is specifically for the professional user, which means the administration users which access the other employees' information behalf of them, manipulate and update the information. This particular new page allows administrators to add the exceptional payment method to be entered. When I say exception payment method, it means one of type of a payment method where for a single month employee will be able to get paid on that bank account, and from the next month onward they will be able to enter their own bank details, which will be continuing forward. Along with this, Oracle has also provided a slightly different view, which is called a card layout for the personal payment method. by using which you will be able to see the information in an entirely different light, and it will be more easier to understand and use. Along with this, it also retained the benefit of the previous user interface, which conveys the history of the personal payment method along with who added or updated the information the last. This, this particular feature is only enabled for the UK, US, and Canada entity. So please make sure that you are functioning under those entities, and only then you will be able to reap the benefit of this particular feature. Moving on to the next feature called events, the payroll evaluation status. This particular page has been introduced to identify any events at the time of retroactive recalculation of payroll and retro pay for late hires. By using the advantage of this page, you will be able to identify if any of the event has been started or not. If it is not started, you can initiate the event, or if the event is initiated, then it has been completed by processed as part of the retroactive recalculation process. If because of some reason it has been into the error in the process, you will be able to rectify the error on this page and uh, move the event into the closure status. If you want to exclude the event from the retroactive payment for the current month, you will be able to cancel the event for that month through the single page, which will help you to control all the events related activity within a single page. Moving on to the next feature, payroll background process enhancement. So this particular feature has been introduced for 1 in a million cases where there is some kind of server connection issue happening at the time of processing payroll related activity. There are certain cases you might have faced the server connection issue at the time of the payroll. So by introducing this enhancement, Oracle has tried to reduce the problem created after the server connection issues. So basically, if any server connection issue are happening on the backend side, the system will be able to totally stop the process which are being executed by the system at that very second, and whenever the connection issue completes, system will be able to pick up wherever it has left the old process which was executed. Also, along with that, if there are any kind of a data migration happening inside the system for the payroll, for example, like payroll time cards, payroll absence records, or element entry with costing, if any of those data migration are being processed by at the time of the server connection issue, system will be able to restart those process after the connection issue is established and properly resolved. So this will help you to prevent any garbage data to be populated or any data, wrongful data to be populated against the employee. Next feature is compressing report output for global payroll reports. So this particular feature is most helpful for the businesses which has the uh, payroll output coming for more than 20 to 30,000 rows. So basically, whenever you have that much big of a file to download, system sometimes takes too much time to download that file, because when you generate the output, you either generate the output in Excel or any specific format, which takes little bit extra time to organize the data and download it into your local system. So by enabling this feature, Oracle has tried to incorporate the compressing part of the report inside the process itself. So if you enable this particular compressing report feature, and if you run any payroll process, system will compress the output of the report at the time of processing itself. So when you download the output, it will take minimal amount of time to download. Most of the process can be enabled through the payroll process configuration group, but there is one specific process for which Oracle was not able to incorporate the compressing rule, so which is called a payroll costing result report. In this report, rather than providing the option into the payroll process configuration group, Oracle has provided an option as a parameter called compressed output file. You just have to select that option and the output will be compressed for the payroll costing results. This feature can be utilized for the payroll reports, extracts, BI reports, and the log files. Moving on to the next feature, which is the number formatting in payroll global reports. Now, you might have faced a challenge while downloading the report output. At the time when you seen the output inside the system, they might follow the different numeric format or date format, but when you download in your local machine, system will convert the dates into your local machine's format. So by introducing these enhancements, Oracle tried to prevent those conversion of the date, number, amount, and the time. So by introducing this feature going forward, if you download the output in MS Excel, PDF, or text file, the formatting of the number, hours, date, and time will be exactly same. Keep in mind that whatever unit of measure you have defined inside the system, that will be the root point from which Oracle will be generating the output. So if you created the element for a 2 decimal places, output will be of a 2 decimal places. If you created elements output to be 3 decimal places, then it will be 3 decimal places. Moving on to the next feature, HCM data loader user access security supported in payroll flows. By introducing this feature, Oracle has tried to provide a security towards the payroll flows. So only selective group of people's record can be processed. This particular security access can be applicable through the job role onto the HCM data loader business objects or the business objects and the product area user role can use for bulk loading data using HCM loader. So this will prevent user to upload any data for which they do not have access of. So for example, if someone do not have access of element entry or payroll area, and if they try to upload the element entry, then Oracle will throw the error stating that you do not have access of uploading the element entries. Moving on to the next feature, which is update prior period payroll costing result. This particular feature allows user to update the costing result of an entire year rather than updating through the retro costing process. So this particular feature can be utilized through the process called a run feature upgrade. Inside the run feature upgrade, you have to select the feature called upgrade cost result to execute this process. And in next to the feature parameter, there is another parameter called additional information. Over there, you will have to enter the year for which you want to execute this prior period payroll costing result process. For example, if you run it for 2021, then you will have to enter the 2021 into the additional information, and system will execute this process for all the payroll runs which has happened inside 2021, and it will update the costing of all of those payroll runs with the latest costing which exists inside the system. Moving on to the next feature, the similar way as I explained the personal payment method at the beginning, Oracle has introduced the employee view of the personal payment method and payroll relationship screen so that it can be a easy to use screen. It can become an easy to use screen for the users, and they will be able to access the employees assignment record for payroll statutory calculation and reporting purpose information easily. Next, this all are the features which does not require any configuration. Moving on to the features which do require the configuration, which is part of the global payroll itself. The Very first feature which requires the configuration change is the translation fix for payment register and third-party payment register report. So Oracle has introduced one parameter inside the payroll process configuration group called support for archive transaction national language support. So by selecting this parameter, you can establish the language which you want to convert your output into, and once you select and save this particular parameter, you have to select this payroll process configuration group at the time of execution of the process payment register or third party payment register. So once the system finishes the execution of these two process, system will be able to automatically generate the output in the source format which you mentioned inside this parameter. Moving on to the next feature, which is related to Redwood Payslip, group earning and deduction. So you might have seen the feature Oracle introduced a couple of upgrades back where they have introduced a new payslip. So this particular feature is an extension of that old feature. By using this feature, you will be able to group the earning and deduction for the employee. For example, you can group a different element inside the pre-tax deduction and different element inside the voluntary deduction. So you will be able to see a proper bar chart or pie chart inside the payslip screen. This can be changed inside the Visual Basic Studios only. So please make sure to change the configuration of VB Studio for the payslip. Once you make that change, you will be able to see the changes on the employee's payslip itself. Next is navigation to pages. Oracle has introduced the result page, but Oracle was not able to complete the sub pages which has been displayed inside the result page. If you look at the screenshot below, you can see that inside the result detail page, you can see the process detail statement of earning, balance results, costing results, run results, and messages. So all of these are different sub pages which is part of the result page. By introducing this feature, Oracle has allowed you to reap the benefit of the result page, even if Oracle hasn't introduced costing results Redwood page as of right now. So by using this particular feature, you will be able to create the hyperlink onto that page, which will redirect you to the old page, which is a responsive UI page, and you will be able to see the same information in the old screen. So apart from the screens which are being moved to the responsive UI, Redwood UI, you will be able to see a single page into the responsive UI. Next feature is Redwood Experience Search for a bank from the personal payment method page. This particular feature allows an employee or an admin user to search the bank and bank branch information based on just the shortcode entered inside the system. But to take advantage of this particular feature, first of all, you will have to upload all the bank and bank branches into the system and enable the profile option highlighted over here in green and enable the lookup highlighted in the green as well. By enabling these two information, system will be able to automatically search the bank and bank detail just by entering the shortcode. Keep in mind this feature is applicable for only US, UK and Canada region. Moving on to the next feature, additional payroll feature enhanced to apply element security. So prior to this, we were allowed to apply the security on the person level, on the business unit level, on the legal employer level, on the department level, and few more, but there was no restriction towards the elements. So by introducing this feature, Oracle is trying to provide a security towards the elements, the list of elements. So whenever you apply any kind of element entry behalf of any employee, you can see only the element which can be accessible through the role assigned to you. This security will apply onto the manage element screen, balance adjustment screen, as well as the element entry screen. Also, this security will automatically be applicable to the HDL, HSDL, quick pay for the employee and everything. So only those elements will be displayed across all the screens. Okay, this is all about the all new payroll oriented features which requires configuration and which does not require configuration. Moving on to the absence related features which do not require a configuration and defaultly provided by Oracle. To start with, I would like to start with the additional attribute in absence subject area feature. By introducing this feature, Oracle has added two new attributes inside the absence real subject area, by using which you will be able to report on any open-ended absences or estimated end dates through the subject area itself. You won't require to enable or create a data model and SQL to achieve this similar information through the report output. So basically, Oracle is trying to make the reporting easier by introducing these two new columns. Moving on to the next feature, which is balance transfer to new plan in same category after global transfer. So this particular feature allows a system administrator to transfer the old balance of the absence plan into the new balance, the new absences balance plan. This particular feature will allow entire balance to be transferred from the old legal employer or old absence plan to the new legal employer, new absence plan. This can be restricted and excluded as well, but it will be helpful for you to transfer the balance into the new employment by utilizing this retain carryover balance feature. This feature will allow you to transfer the carryover balance into the new employment as well, which will help you to reduce the number of activity performed after the global transfer transaction has been completed. The next feature is also related to the global transfer, rollover support after loss of eligibility and global transfer. So lots of the time when you transfer the balance from one plan to another plan for the employee, there are certain limits established at the time of the creation of the plan, so that employee cannot have more than, let's say, 30 days of balance or 20 days of balance. So by using this feature, you will be able to handle the exceptions created for global transfer through the global transfer. And this particular rule allow you to limit the number of days or hours for your absence plans. So it can be limited by unlimited, which allows as many number of hours or days you want, or it can be limited by the flat amount. So you can enter 10 hours or 20 days, and it can be mentioned as a limited by formula, where you can write a logic for each entity based or for each absence type based, and you will restrict the amount based on those types. Moving on to the next feature, which is ability to specify which shift in a half-day absence won't be worked in. This particular feature helps employee and managers as well as the system administrator to identify if employee went on a leave for a single day or 1.5 day. Did they went on a leave for a first half of the day or second half of the day? And this information can is optional as this very moment, so you can just either select or ignore if you want. Next feature is enhanced absence type default logic. This particular feature allows you to populate a drop down of the absent type for each employee in a specific method. So Oracle has introduced four methods over here, as you can see on the screenshot drop down. One is called the most used, the last used, and display order. So the display order meaning you can set up a display order for each type, and in that order only the drop down will be displayed. Most used option refer to the display order if it has been defined. If you did not define the display order, then Oracle will automatically display the absence type based on the alphabetical order. And the last used option is to display the absence type based on the employee's use of the absences. So whatever absence they have applied within last couple of months or latest, that will be the very first absence type, and the second will be the second most absence they have applied, and so on. Next feature is time card validation for honor competent compensatory time ceiling limits. This particular feature allows user to verify the compensatory ceiling limit inside the time card itself. So previously, when you apply the time card, system was not able to verify if employee's compensatory time limit has been reached or not. But by using this particular new feature, Oracle will be able to identify and throw an error at the time of submission of the time card, mentioning the employee has already reached the limit of the compensatory plan. The next feature is atom feed and event support for absence cases. By introducing this feature, Oracle has provided us with the audit options to be enabled for absence cases, by using which system will store the data of creation of any absence case, deletion of the absence case, and updation of the absence case. And if you want, you can create a report for the audit purpose. The next feature is improved support of calculate accruals and balance ESS job running in parallel. This particular feature allows system to identify in the background if there is any employee for whom system is trying to run the process at the same time. So previously, a system used to throw an error at the time of collision of two accrual balancing processes. But now, using this enhancement, Oracle will be able to skip the employee as part of one of the process, and it will process that employee as part of the another process successfully without any errors. The next feature is ability to view balance absence plan balance when entering a time card. This particular feature allows user to view the absence plan balance on the time card itself. So previously, user had to go into the absence screens to view the balances, and then they had to create a time card and enter the hours, however hours they want to enter as part of the leave. But by introducing this feature, employee will be able to perform almost all of the activity within a single screen. The next feature is export to Excel supported on manage absence and entitlement pages. Uh, this particular feature is self-explanatory. It says that Oracle has introduced export option on 3 new pages called existing absence screen, accrual plan balance detail, which you can download for individual employee, and qualification entitlement detail, which you can download for individual employee. The next feature is identify the last job request ID that updated a transaction. So by introducing this last job request ID for 3 specific table, which is part of the absence, Oracle has tried to keep a proper track of the record. So lots of time you either simultaneously or in a quick succession you run the accrual enrollment process and calculate accrual and balances, and sometimes you are not able to identify which process through the error for this one employee. By using this ID, you will be able to quickly identify which process gave the error for that employee, and Based on that, you will be able to act on the transactions of the employee and resolve the error quickly. The next feature is absence planning dashboard support for extensibility. Uh, I'm not sure you have already gone through it, but last year Oracle introduced the absence planning dashboard page for managers to review. Now Oracle has provided a little bit more of a personalization towards that page so that administrators can edit or personalize those pages based on their requirement. The next feature is audit changes to work schedule assignments. You can now allow customers to enable audit for following two tables. So I know you won't be able to know the name of the table, but these two tables consist of two different things. First table consists of the schedule assignment, which will help system identify which work schedule has been assigned to which employee, and the second table is a schedule exception, which will help system identify which exception has been linked to which work schedule. Now introducing the audit changes onto these two tables, you will be able to prepare an audit report for all the work schedule related changes, so that any changes or any anonymous data has been entered by anyone, you will be able to identify by the date as well as by the name of the person. Moving on to the feature which does require the configuration change of absence module. We will start with the Redwood Add Absence UI support for additional feature. So Oracle has introduced a new page for adding the absences, and to enable this page you have to enable a certain type of profile option inside the system, then only you will be able to see this page, and that is the reason why it is inside the configuration change features, not the default features. By enabling this feature, employees will be able to associate the leave agreement directly onto the page where they apply the leave. Along with this, they will be able to repeat the absence for the future as well. So if they want to apply the leave, uh, same day leave every month, they will be able to repeat the leave every month by repeat option. And after saving the absence, they will be able to see the consumed entitlement on the same screen itself. The next feature is Redwood experience for absence cases. So basically Oracle has introduced a new page which is in a Redwood theme for absence cases. It incorporates all the feature which was already provided into the responsive UI page and classic UI page, along with the new attractive and easy to use options. The next feature is update compensatory time balance or time balances on time card submission or approval. This feature allows you to configure if employees balance of the compensatory plan should be updated at the time of submission of the time card, or at the time of submission of the at the time of approval by the manager. By using this feature, you will be able to provide accurate information to the employee after the submission or approval. The next feature is one of the biggest feature of absence module, which is related to the associate a compensatory plan and a qualification plan for to the same absence type. So by introducing this feature, Oracle has tried to allow you to assign two different type of plan into a single absence type, by using which, for example, you will be able to assign maternity and annual leave plan inside a maternity leave type itself. So whenever employee completes the entitlement, system will automatically move the employee onto the annual leave plan. so that employee won't lose any money at the time of maternity. So this will allow you to create more complicated configuration and provide more easy to use system to the employee. This is all about the absence related enhancements. Moving on to the time and labor related enhancement, which does not require any configuration changes. The very first feature is the new database item for the workforce scheduling integration. So by introducing these new database items, I am sure that you won't be seeing this database item on the front screen, but Oracle has created those database items on the backend side so that Oracle can seemingly connect the workforce scheduling area with the time and labor module, which will help system to validate the time card information easily. The next feature is Redwood time card enhancements. So to summarize this feature, Oracle has updated and provided lots of different sub features into the time card page. But to summarize it, Oracle has provided a view plan absence plan balance, as I mentioned previously. Oracle has also allowed you to see the error or incomplete time cards on top of the time card page itself, so that you can act on it before you exit the time card. It also allowed user to personalize the time card screen for themselves, so that they can see the total on the right side of the time card or bottom of the time cards and see the details in their own way. Also, along with this, Oracle has also enabled one more feature to make the time card read only. So whenever system administrator upload the time card data through the HDL, automatically system will make the screen read only for the user, so that they do not make any changes on it. And as always, you can always export the time card content from the time card page itself. The next feature is employee calendar enhancements. This particular feature is applicable for the desktop user interface as well as the mobile user interface as well. So basically, the right side image shows how it will see in the mobile, and the left side image is showing how it will be displayed in the computer or a laptop. Along with this, Oracle has also introduced a new option called a team onto this particular screen, so that you will be able to see the employees or co-workers who are working on a same shift as you. Okay, this is all about the configuration not required changes. Now we will go with the enhancement which requires a configuration change for time and labor. The very first feature I would like to discuss is related to Redwood existing time card page enhancements. This particular page did not have too many changes as of right now, but Oracle has tried to enable the period start date as a hyperlink for employee to use, so that once employee comes inside the existing time card page, they can just select on a date and system will be able to get them inside that specific time card. Rather than clicking on action and edit the time card, they will be directly able to redirect themselves through the date. The next feature is Redwood Team Time Cards page enhancement. This particular enhancement is for managers to review. There are two major changes Oracle has introduced on this page. The very first change is similar to the existing time card page, where Oracle has enabled the hyperlink onto the period start date, where you can click on it and go in, manager can click on it and go inside and check the time card of the employee. And the another feature they introduced is called a status column into the team time card page, where they will see the refresh button against each employee. So for any employee, if manager selects a refresh button, manager will be able to see the exact status at that very moment. If it is saved, then it is saved. If it is approved, then approved, submitted, then submitted. Whatever status that employee's time card is on, manager will be able to see the exact latest status. Moving on to the next feature, attestation enhancements. So by using this feature, manager will be able to approve the time card entries without receiving any pending attestations from the employee. So if they are sure and they knew that the employee worked over there and there is a deadline to submit the time card, they can approve the time card without receiving any kind of attestation. Moving on to the next feature, this feature allows the data disposal of the time record group. By using this feature, you will be able to remove the data of the employee who are either terminated or for whom the work relationship has been cancelled. But before you use this particular feature, please keep in mind, once you delete anything through this feature, you won't be able to retrieve it back. Moving on to the next feature, automatic addition of on-call shift on time card. So by introducing this feature, Oracle has tried to create a on-call shift and on-call entries automatically. As soon as employee start the shift, on-call shift, system will automatically create a time card entry of that on-call shift inside the system. So employee did not had to log in and enter the on-call shifts detail inside the system. So this is to automate couple of things and reduce the employee's workload. Next feature is time total drawer, total honor enhancement. This particular is the enhancement for again the on-call schedule hours itself. So by using this feature, Oracle has tried to segregate the total hours, schedule hours, on-call schedule hours, and absence hours, and whatever hours employee has performed onto the on-call schedule hours, system will automatically remove it from the total hours so that you will be able to see how much of the hours the employee has done as a regular hours and what are the hours which is part of the on-call shift. The next option is geofencing for web clock introduction. This particular feature allows manager to receive a notification at the time when employee exceeds their allocated time. So if employee is supposed to finish their job at 5, but if they completed or did not completed the job at 5 and they are still working, manager will get notified at the time of extension, and manager will be able to make sure that the employee's working hours has been fulfilled accurately. It also allows you to restrict the extension as well, so that wait clock event will end as soon as the allocated hours are completed. The next feature is related to OTBI EE. This feature supports a validation message in time and labor subject areas. So whenever you are planning to submit the time card, you have a privilege to do the validation. And whenever you do the validation, system populates a message for the validation that if there is any problem or if there is any incorrect entries. So now system will be able to store those validation messages into the system, and those messages can be retrieved through the subject area itself rather than creating a SQL query. Those messages can be extracted through two subject areas mentioned over here, called the historical report time card real time and reported time card real time subject area. The next feature is again related to OTBI EE. Oracle support approval attribute in time and labor subject area. So going forward, user will be able to combined or joined time and labor and approval related subject area to create a single report which contains all the information from starting of the time card entry till the approval of the time card. So by utilizing the transaction ID and object ID column, you will be able to connect the approval subject area with the time and labor subject area through the time card approval folder. Okay, this is all about the time and labor enhancements and new features. Moving on to the next module, which is health and safety, which has only one quick win feature provided by Oracle, which does not require any configuration. The feature is additional dimensions and attributes in incident subject area. By introducing this feature, Oracle has tried to provide two new dimensions into two old subject areas called cybersecurity incidents real time, environment health and safety incident real time, and the dimension is called incident investigation owner. Along with this, Oracle has also provided the additional attribute for the vehicle incident dimension, where they have tried to provide the employee related information, which consists of the assignment information, manager information, as you can see the list on the screen right now. Also, along with that, they have also updated the name of couple of attribute mentioned below, which is city, address line 1, and so on. Moving on to the next features, which is related to the workforce scheduling. We will be discussing all the workforce scheduling features, which does not require any configuration change. Starting with the workload management, this feature allows user to create, update, and delete the workload data using HCM data loader. So basically, you will be able to upload all the activities related to the workload into the system through the HDL rather than manually entering those details individually. And after adding those details into the system has allowed you to open the filter panel, which can help you to restrict the data based on a start date and end date or a job role base. So you can see the specific time durations data inside the system. The next feature is related to configure self-scheduling alert notification. So Oracle has introduced the 6 new alerts for just for a work self-scheduling of the shift. The very first alert is self-scheduling period opening soon. So whenever employee any period is about to open, employee can receive a notification. The next one is period closing soon. Similar way, whenever it is about to close, the employee will receive the notification. Then open, close, and officially closed notification. Along with this 5, additional shift field notification is also provided, by using which employee and managers can receive a notifications. Moving on to the workforce scheduling features which do require the configuration change. To start with, new subject area has been introduced by Oracle for a workforce scheduling module, which is called a workforce schedule real time. This subject area can help user to extract the schedule and shift details through the system, and it also Oracle has tried to provide the dimensions like business units, departments, locations, job, schedule hours, and so on, so that you can also restrict the data output of the schedules based on a department or location or job, and it will give you a proper analysis which can help you to analyze the data. The next feature is shift type in workforce schedules. So by using this, Oracle has provided a special privilege to HCM integration specialists to import the different type of a shift types inside the system. By introducing these different shift types, Oracle has also tried to link this workforce scheduling module with the time and labor module. So for example, if you select the shift type as an on-call over here, system will automatically be able to understand in the time and labor module that the shift you performed was on call. So system is supposed to perform the automatic entry inside the system. The next feature is schedule generation profile in introduction. This feature allows admin to generate the profile for staffing department and policy govern specific scheduling, by using which they will be able to properly staff and follow all the policy decided for the organization. Also, once profile is created, admin will be able to verify the status of profile and update or delete accordingly. So basically, once you create a profile, you are allowed to delete the profile till it is not been assigned to the employee. If that profile has been assigned to any employee, then system won't allow you to delete the profile which is created. Just to show you the screen, how the schedule generation profile screen will look like. So this is how it will display the schedule profile's name, code, and the status. Active means it is been available for employees to use. Draft means it still requires a updation and only administrator can view and make a changes into it. Moving on to the next feature, which is workforce schedule access. This feature allows user to administrator to restrict the access of the schedule generation profile itself. So for example, you can see on this screen, the Oracle has tried to assign the schedule to a manager called Terry Woods, and the department assigned to this particular schedule for a staffing is maternity MIA. Now, if you create a responsibility for a maternity MIA and location Miami, then system will only be able to display the details related to MIA maternity. It won't allow user to view the maternity LA, and because both of the staffing decision are inside, so only the maternity MIA will be able to access the data of this scheduling profile. The next option is generate workforce schedule introduction. This feature helps schedule manager to generate the schedule based on the workflow mentioned over here on the bottom right side. So basically, it will allow schedule manager to either create a automatic generated work schedule, or it will allow system to identify the work schedule based on a fixed term work pattern already existing inside the system. And the third option which is available is open shift and fixed term work pattern. So basically, system will review how many shifts are open and how many fixed time work patterns are existing, and based on that, system will be able to accurately create a work schedule for it. The next feature is managing workforce schedule. This feature helps schedule manager to add or remove column from the page to view the data. Let me stay on the second screen. So this particular screen can be edited by the manager so that they can only see the information which they require, and it will be easier for them to view and take a decision on. Also, they will be able to view schedules by worker or job, and depends on a daily basis. So if they want to see the worker based information on a day by day basis or a 1 week basis or 2 week basis, uh, manager will be able to see the information in the way they want to view. Along with this, managers will be able to see the status of it. They will be able to edit the schedules which is already generated and add new departments as well. The next option is view schedule coverage variance. This feature helps schedule manager to identify the variance in a schedule coverage, which will result in identifying overstaffing or understaffing hours. So this feature will allow you to see based on a daily basis or a weekly basis where are those variants exist in which time. So for example, over here you can see in the screenshot that a child care assistant position has a variance of 4 hours between 3 to 7 on a 14th of February 2024. So this will allow schedule managers to take a sound decision and align the shift and the on-call shift based on the variances populated based on the employee's choice of the shifts. Moving on to the next feature is validate workforce schedule introduction. So this feature will help validate the claim along with the warning messages. So by enabling this particular feature, Oracle has tried to provide warnings as much as possible at the time of creation of work schedule. So for example, in the screenshot, as you can see, the shift has been created by the schedule manager, but at the time it has been given a warning that the weekly 48 hours duration exceeds the 40 FTE week duration. So basically, this employee has a hours, 40 hours of FTE, 40 hours of location, but by adding these new 8 hours, employee will receive a 48 hours of a duration for a week. So it's manager's decision if they want to overlook, means ignore and update the shift, or they want to make a changes for the employee, or they want to perform this shift onto the different employee. And the last feature is worker self-scheduling. This feature will allow user to receive email notification and banner message on the calendar for regular and on-call shift that align with their uh, uh, availability. So basically, whenever employee perform the self-scheduling, before they perform the self-scheduling, they will be able to receive the notification that this shift is about to be open, and they will receive a link inside that notification. By clicking on that link, they will be able to directly redirect themselves onto this screen to select those shift. And after selecting those shift, if those shift overlap with the regular shift, system will be able to provide a warning or a notification on top of it before the claim has been submitted, so that employee can take a sound decision on it before selecting. Along with this, once the shift has been selected by the employee, they will be able to perform mention transaction onto the shift called a drop shift, cover shift, claim extra shift. So if uh, employee want to drop that shift, they can submit a drop shift and manager will have to approve and find the replacement. Otherwise, they can request for a cover shift where someone else from their co-worker or the team will be able to pick up that shift which was selected by them, and the claim extra shift will allow employee to perform an additional shift outside of their allocated hours. And from here on, I would like to hand it over back to Hardik, and he can take you forward with the session.
Hey, Nitil, thank you for the wonderful insights. First of all, we'd like to have a quick feedback from all of you that today's session was, how was it, so that we can improve based on your feedback on the scale of 1 to 5. 5 means good. And meanwhile, you rate us, we'd like to keep you informed that in a week time, we'll be sending an email from the marketing side, and wherein you'll find a link. Upon clicking on that link, you'll have access to full content, which will include this today's session's presentation, along with today's recording of this session and the task scripts as well. And meanwhile, if you need any of these, the PDF or task scripts, you can write to your support manager, and we'll make that available tonight itself, so in a few minutes itself. So they'll be able to share it with you if at all required. You can just connect with the respective allocated support manager of your project. So I'll be closing the poll now, and thank you so much. And is there any questions do we have, Vidya, if you can please check?
There was just one question, Hardik. So will the recording be available? So when I've answered that it will be shared
Yeah,
and also mentioned the
yeah,
same. Yeah.
perfect.
No other questions.
Yeah, and we have the upcoming sessions, which you can see on your screen right now. So if any of your colleagues have missed registering, I'm also putting the link in the chat option right now so that you can pass it to them, and they can register as well. I've just pasted the link in the chat. So we have supply chain coming in today itself, and then HR help desk, talent, benefits and compensation, and supply chain inventory is next week. So please do not miss that. And as mentioned earlier, we'll be sending you all the content by next week. And with this, we'd like to thank you everybody for your valuable time today. Really appreciate it. And we'll be closing the session now. Thank you so much.